smile down on me. Oh, I feel so blessed today. No one but God could have sent you this way. Oh, I feel so blessed today. No one but God could have sent you this way. I once believed only a fool would fall in love. Well, if that's true, then I'm that fool I was thinking of. I'm so glad that feeling came over me. Now I'm standing here beside you, where I always want to be. Oh.
My name is Dolores White. I'm a Christian person. My church home is Asia Baptist Church. I would like to say a prayer for this video. A prayer that I really, really love. It's a wonderful prayer. So it's for any denomination. It's for any. O Lord, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, and our eternal home. Beneath the shadows of thy throne, thy saints have well secured. Sufficient is thy arm alone, and our defense is assured. Most holy and everlasting, thou art God, we come, Heavenly Master, in the most humblest way we know how to come. We come thanking you for the many, many blessings thou hast bestowed upon us, from early existence until this present moment. We thank you, Father, for each and every one under the sound of my weak voice. We ask that you bless, protect, and keep everyone, especially my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. Father, lead them in the way that you want them to go. All of those that don't know you in the pardon of their sins, let them come running and asking, what could I do to be saved? I thank you, Heavenly Master. I thank you for a portion of my health and strength, that I could just be a person that can just go to, I love my church, can go to church and just be a Christian person. I'm just so happy. I'm real happy. I've been very, very sick, but God has blessed me now, and I'm doing real well. So this is my prayer. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. And Father, please bless the boys and girls that's fighting overseas. Bring them home to their families. Make their families' homes a home of prayer, peace, love, and understanding. And these blessings I ask in Jesus' name. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Thank you.
So whenever you're ready.
Just a few, that comes off. Just a few weeks ago, the office called me and said, Miss White, what are you doing? I said, I'm sitting down. He said, well, it's somebody real special is coming to see you. I said, who is that coming to see me? He said, I'm not going to tell you who, but it's somebody real special. And the security, what,
Security people.
the security.
Secret Service.
The Secret Service have screened you and everything. They screened you and you are ready for your special guest to come. Say, and well, they're supposed to come on their way back from vacation. They're gonna stop and they're gonna come. So it was so good. So I said, well, I called him back. His name Jason. I called him back. I said, Jason, who is coming? Because I want to know how to dress. He said, the only thing you have to do is put the clothes you had on the other day when you came and talk on a video. I said, all right, talk about the storm and everything on the video. I said, well, all right. So he came, got me and everything, and I talked on the video. But then President Obama was on his way. They was on their way here, and the radical or whatever they call them, they got wind of it, and they all surround my house. They all got in the driveway and surround the house, and so when they got ready to come this way, they had the street so blocked off with the people in there. The police couldn't make a move or nothing. So they just went straight on San Bernardino. They didn't come this way. The car was pointed this way. Someone told me, I wasn't outside. And then they seen all of those people outside around the house. So they just went around. But I was so grateful that he was gonna come and talk with me, he and his wife. So they went to a girl in the next driveway from me. Was nobody there because nobody knew that they was coming but me. I had to tell all my people and everything, so it got out that he was coming, so that's what happened. And he went by the girl, he and his wife, and talked to her. Her name Baby. She in the next driveway. So I was so grateful that he was gonna come over here. They were looking at the apartments. They built these apartments from the project. This whole vicinity, this whole, all around here was a project. And they built these houses. And I'm so grateful. And I just wanted him to come and see my little comfortable apartment. I'm so comfortable in here. We have security guards and everything. I can sleep all night long. I used to couldn't sleep at night on account of the shooting and everything, but they don't have none of that around here. So he was gonna come and see our apartment and everything, but he didn't come, and I was so upset. Well, I just didn't know what to say. And but another time when he's down here, he might come, because I had made my 75th birthday just before he was gonna come, and that was gonna be the best birthday present. I just can't explain it. That was gonna be so wonderful. Oh my God. You see, because we went through so much with Katrina. You see, the people was leaving and when the storm came, but I would not leave because they didn't have enough room for my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. So we all stayed together in my apartment. I had a 2-bedroom project apartment, and we all stayed in there. And it was so horrific. Oh my God, the storm. We was all in. We heard the storm. We was inside. We heard the storm, the bricks coming off the house and everything, and we stayed. But after we stayed, and the storm finished, we all got out the house. The children even was quiet. The babies was quiet. Nobody was saying nothing when the storm was going on, because we never heard nothing like that before. And I've been through a few storms in my day here, but never one like this one. And after the storm was finished, we went on the porch and started praying and thanking God for letting us come out of the storm all right. And the water, all at once, the water started rising. When the water started rising, it got to the steps. And we sitting on the porch, we didn't know. And all at once it started just coming up, and I had the children, I said, each one of y'all, the little children, go get a broom and start sweeping it off the porch, the water off the porch. And that's what they was doing, sweeping it. As they sweep it, the more it come. So when it got in the hallway, we went inside, and when it got in the hallway, we said, I told my children, I said, now, because my niece had left her key. She lived on the 3rd floor, I was on the 1st floor. And she left her key for us to go upstairs in her house. She was living on the 3rd floor. And so after she left the key with us, we went on the 3rd floor. But we didn't think that the water would get so high. And as we was going up, the water got so high that it started covering everything in the house. And so we went upstairs, and we was looking, and my church was right across the street from me. And I kept looking at my church to see how far the water was coming, and it was just going up, up, up to the window of the church. And I said, oh my God. And so all at once it started getting late in the evening. All at once the helicopters started passing and the boats started coming. So my children got on the porch on the 3rd floor and started hollering, help, save us, come get us. I said, children, don't make commotion. They said, Grandma, we gotta leave away from here. And so the boat came, and Dinah and her kids, Janice and her kids, and they left. Well, Christina and me and her kids, we stayed, because the boys, she had 2 boys, they are, what you call it?
Artistic.
They are artistic, and they didn't want to go on the boat. So I said, well, I can't leave Christina and her boys, so we stayed. And so the water still was rising, and the boat still was picking up people. And so I said, Christina, after a while, if it get any higher, we're gonna have to leave. And so it did get higher, and so we started hollering for the people to come and get us, but they had came about 3 times, and I wouldn't go, so they just took their own good time, and they said, we'll be back, and they never came back. So it was a guy, he had a fishing boat, and he lived not far from me. And so he came, passed by us with some people in the boat, and I hollered for him. I said, come get me, and I'll pay you whatever. He said, oh, you don't have to pay. He said, when I bring this load, I'll come back and get you. So we talked to the twins, and then they got in, the fella came, and he drove up in the hallway. That's how high the water was. And also, we came down the steps, and we got in the boat. And they put us on the I-10. That was the I-10. And that's where we stayed. They didn't pick us up no more until the next day. We had to sleep on the I-10 up there. And the next day, the helicopters started coming, but the people started rushing. It was so many people. They started rushing, so that the helicopter left, and they went further over. And so they seen me crippled with my stick. I'm handicapped with my stick. And so they took me by the hand, and I had the boys, they was on the side, took me by the hand and put me on the helicopter, and they flew us, and I couldn't tell you where they flew us. It was like a midship hospital they had set up under the underpad, and it was dry there, and so we stayed there ever so long, and then the buses started coming. When the buses started coming, they put us on a bus, and it was a while. It's about 3 buses left before we could get on one. And we got on the bus, and they brought us to Thibodeau, to a gym in Thibodeau. I don't forgot the name of the college.
Nichols. Nichols State.
Nichols. Well, it was probably Nichols State College, and we stayed. And after we stayed in there a long time, my people, they was in Texas and all over, all of my people. So they said they had been looking for me, you know, they didn't know where, if I was dead or drowned or what. And so all at once I heard over the microphone, we were so tired in that place. And all at once I heard, Dolores White, Christina White, Dolores White. And I said, Christina, they calling us. And we went where the telephone was, and that was my sister. She was calling, and she said, we finally found you on the internet. We found you, said, and somebody is coming right now to pick you up. And so my cousin, her and her brother came, Carolee, and Nawa Jerome. They came and they picked me up, and they brought me to their home in Vacherie. I didn't even know where I was. All this time I was in that place, and Vacherie wasn't too far from Thibodeau, and I didn't even know. And so they brought me to Vacherie, and we stayed there a while. Then my grandson came the next day. He came and picked me up in the van, because everybody was out of town except my cousin. They had a trailer in Vacherie, and so we stayed in the trailer that night. And then he went, my grandson went pick up my daughter Stacy and her child, and brought them by Carolee house. And so then they took me to Baton Rouge to get my check. So they cut me a check for that monthly check. And then my grandson took me to Texas. That was Dallas, Texas. And we rode from 3 o'clock in the evening until about 6 o'clock the next morning. We got to Texas. And when we got to Texas, my grandson he got us apartment and everything there. And what's the name of this place we was in?
Eastville Village.
Eastville Village. Got each one of us a apartment. And then we stayed in the apartment a while.
2 months.
About 2 months. It was longer than 2 months.
Y'all left like, it was close to December, remember?
Well, it was 2 months. And then my daughter, my oldest daughter, she was in
Lafayette.
Lafayette, in the Superdome in Lafayette, whatever they call it.
Oh, Houston. If she was in Houston, then she went to Lafayette.
Yeah, she was in Houston, then she went to Lafayette. So in Lafayette, she kept calling us in Texas and telling us that she's working on a way for us to come. We'll be closer home. They was gonna give her a trailer in New Iberia. Well, I had never heard of New Iberia, but I knew it was closer to New Orleans where we're from. So they said that it was a family. It was Janice and her kids, Miranda, Monica, that's my grandchildren. Janice is my daughter. Miranda, Monica, and all of their children. Stacy, Christina, that's my 2 daughters and their children. We all was there in Texas. And they said it was going to send a bus to get us. FEMA was going to send a bus to get us to bring us to New Iberia. But they did not send a bus. So I took 2 suitcases and I had my grandson to bring me to the bus station and put me on a bus. And when he put me on a bus, I told him that I wanted to go to Lafayette